Good morning. Wow. It is so pretty outside. I can hear the birds singing in my backyard. I cannot wait to go sit on my deck and listen to them and watch and see what they're doing. But before I go and do any of that, I wanted to get on and talk to you about another insect. But first of all, let's talk about an insect because we know an insect has three parts. He has a head. He has a thorax, and he has an abdomen. And I will draw a picture for you later and so that you can see a little better. Remember, they do have 6 legs. So if you see some kind of crawly thing that has more than 6 legs, it is probably not an insect. You can have your mom or dad or the adult that's taking care of you look that up and see if it is an insect. Today we're going to read about another insect, one of my favorites, because I use what they make almost every night in my hot tea. So this is about bees, and they are amazing little creatures. They have wings, of course, and they have their 6 legs, but they do something amazing. They actually make something that we eat. They make honey, and I love honey, especially to sweeten my tea. So this book is by Melvin and Gilda Berger. This is a nonfiction book, and do you remember a nonfiction book is something that talks about the real thing? It's got real facts. This one also has real pictures in it. So this is about bees. Bees buzz around, and look, if you look really close, you can see it's got like these little tiny hairs that stick off of it. Aren't they cool? And you can also see the pollen and things stuck to its legs, which is very important to our plants in our garden, whether it's flowers or whether it's food that we grow. Bees fly from flower to flower. This is how they pollinate our plants. They look for food. Bees find food inside the flowers. So we've talked about it before, how everything flowers. So whether it's a pretty flower that you just get to enjoy what it looks like, or whether it's a flower that eventually turns into a pumpkin, or turns into an apple, or it turns into something else that we eat, like tomatoes, or green beans, or peas. Flowers are very, very important, and they're also important to these little insects. Bees pick up pollen. Bees eat pollen, which is the yellow powder that is inside the flower. And sometimes you can see the powder with your eyes, and then other times you have to get like a magnifying glass. You remember those magnifying glasses we had in class where you can look up close. Well, once they get the pollen, not only do they eat the pollen, but they also get it stuck to their bodies. Then they carry the pollen away, which is not a bad thing for the flower. It's something we want the bees and other insects to do. Bees sip nectar from flowers. Nectar is a sweet juice that is hidden down deep inside the flowers. Okay, so another insect that drinks nectar would be our butterflies that we talked about. Remember the proboscis that unrolls like a straw and sticks inside the flower? They fly home with the pollen and nectar. Now, the cool thing about these bees is that they actually have almost like little pouches on their legs, like little pockets that will hold the pollen, which is very important because they can carry it back to their beehive. Bees live in a hive. And look, now you can't see it, but this is the opening where they go inside. As many as 60,000 bees live in one hive. Boys and girls, that is a lot of bees. Can you see them? Move up a little closer. So this is where they go into their home. Now, once they're inside, this is what the hive looks like. Look at all of those little cells all over the place. They put the pollen and the nectar inside. Isn't that amazing? I just think bees are fascinating. Oh, look here. Look. Bees make nectar into honey. So we want them to drink the nectar, don't we? We want them to make the honey. They eat some pollen and they eat some honey. Bees share their food with other bees in the hive, so they all work together. Isn't that cool? They work together in their hive the way we would work together in our classroom. Now, people also build hives, right? People build hives in wooden boxes. Okay, so let's talk about that, because there's a wooden box here, and actually what they've done is they've built the box. They didn't build this hive part. The bees do all of that. But they have actually built this box for the bees to come and make honey. Okay? And then they harvest honey, like they go and take the honey out of the boxes, and then the bees will start making another hive again. Okay, these are beekeepers. Beekeepers. Then, once they've made all of this, look at the honey. Then they can take the honey out. They process the honey, and honey is yummy. What do you think about that? This that's sitting on top is called, they call that a honeycomb, because that's part of the hive. Isn't that amazing? I think bees are very fascinating. I've always wanted to have a beehive in my yard, but I'm not really sure that my boys are too excited about that. And I know that the dog is not excited about it. But bees are very, very important to our world. They're very important to plants, to flowers. They're important to us because they help to pollinate the plants that grow food for us. So if you see a bee, you probably should stay away from it, but watch it, because they are fun to watch. So don't chase them or swat at them, but just watch. Watch what they do. Watch if they're sitting on the flowers, if they're drinking nectar, because they are fun to observe. All right, it's a beautiful sunshiny day out there. Hopefully there's some pollinators like bees and butterflies out there flying around on our flowers. I hope that you're able to get out there and see some of that happen outside your house. Bye, boys and girls. Have a great day.